Okay.
Prabhu,
Mhm.
Prabhu, can you hear me or not, Prabhu? Prabhu, can you hear me or not, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Okay, sing the Mugasam praise. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave
Gurave
Namaha
Namaha.
Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sarvana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च मां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पाञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे वीरा विजय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Do you hear me, Prabhu?
हे
I can hear you.
I can hear you too, Vijay.
But Prabhu, I don't know, Prabhu, if he is hearing me or not. I've been
जय
I
trying to
don't
say
think he
like,
can
Can
hear
you not hear? No,
anyone.
maybe is it my speaker. Oh, that is why. No wonder. You can say something now.
we can
Hare
hear you from
Krishna.
the beginning,
Okay, okay.
Prabhu. Can you
My
hear us?
speaker was connected to this monitor speaker, as I couldn't hear anything. Sorry.
Now you can hear us, Prabhu?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So last class we did, we are in 14th chapter, which is three modes of material nature. Last class we did 16, 17 and 8, no, 6, 7 and 8 verses. So this three verses talks about mode of goodness, mode of passion and mode of ignorance. The sixth verse is mode of goodness. How, like you explained about how even the scientists, philosophers, those are in the mode of goodness, they are purer than the other modes, but still they are conditioned, right? Like you explained to us how being in the mode of goodness, they will you said like you they cannot live stay in one mode only. It will be a combination. So being very good about the knowledge they have acquired, so that will lead to their pride, which will have the flavor of rajoguna. So there is a flavor. So he said like there are some more verses coming up later which talks about specific time of a day which mode predominates. So that's we talked briefly about the mode of goodness, and also we said like how the previous yugas there were like more in the mode of goodness, and as the age progresses we are all in the mode tamoguna mode. um, yeah, that's all I have. I have not written anything, Prabhu. I have heard the class one more time, so I'm just telling from what I remembered. So the next one is Tamo Guna characteristic verse, and here I liked one thing in this Tamo Guna thing, Prabhu. You told us about three types of um, uh, uh, miseries. So it's like um,
Hmm.
tapo or tapo.
Parinam dukh,
Parinam
papa dukh,
Tapaduk and then Samsara Duk.
samsara,
Parinam
no,
Samskara.
no samsara.
Samskara, right?
Samskara.
Samskara,
Yeah.
Samskara Duk. Like Parinam Duk is the one which you will enjoy the taste, but you know that is gonna give you bad.
Mm-hmm.
And Tapo, and what is that?
Tapa.
Tap
Tapa.
Tapaduk
Tapa,
is like
tapa.
while you are doing that only you will feel like okay, this is not going. You're already feeling sad about it. And then
Yeah.
if you are not in there, then there is always this samatak
Samskara. Samskara.
samskara duk, where like the birth death cycle old age, that duk is always there.
No, 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 there's two things. There's samsara is one, and samskara is one.
What
Different.
is samskara duk is not the regular the cycle issues,
No,
Prabhu?
no. So samskar is samskar basically is very nice way to understand. You know, scar. Scar means what? A
Uh,
mark.
oh, you have them
There's some scar. There's some scar you got. You know,
yeah, some
on the
impressions
mind
from before.
impression, right?
Yeah,
So that samskar of, if in this life you are so habituated
to do
of
something.
getting no of getting nice wonderful things,
Uh,
right? So no matter bad, either bad or good, but what you experience, you get impression. So if you're getting a lot of in a nice opulent place, you get that samskar of, positive samskar, you could say, right? Enjoyment. Next life, you might not get,
mm,
but because the impression is there of wanting that happiness, that the good impression, good positive impressions or samskar, because you're not getting that in the next life, you start feeling that, but why I want it, why am I not getting, why am I the one, that all things starts coming out because you had an impression in the previous life. Does that make sense?
yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Samskar.
Samskar. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. So yeah, we discussed a little bit about the mode of passion, a lot more characteristics, with the regular discussion, and then the last one we discussed was the tamo guna characters. So how the laziness, we talked about the amount of sleep we get, and then how like in ignorance.
Mhm.
And then so that leads you in like again the sleep that it binds the conditioned soul. It's exactly opposite of what we want to do. And in this, Prabhu, I had one question while discussing. You said there is a tamoguna is completely kept in a separate basket, while the uh,
Mhm.
rajoguna and satvaguna is placed in one basket. Why did you say that, Prabhu?
So if you see the word here, right, in verse number 8, the word tu is used.
Ah,
Tamas tu ajnanajam vidhi. Tu, right?
yes.
Tu means but. When you use but, that means you're categorizing two things, right? For example, let's say this is good, but you
Mm,
understand something is different is going to come,
yeah.
right?
Correct.
So two is not used the previous one. So what Bhakti Bhushan Bhatti mentions is the word of the use of word two here indicates that ignorance is kind of, is opposed, it's totally opposite to other two.
Yeah, okay.
Pramad is madness, opposite goodness.
Yes.
Alasya opposes passion, you
So
know, right? Nidra opposes
sleep.
goodness and passion both.
Yeah,
This is diametrically opposite these two. So
definitely.
very difficult to progress spiritual, especially spiritual, even material, you could say if you want to. Very difficult to progress spiritually in mode of ignorance. It's like, in Bhagavad Gita we have, do you remember, okay, do you remember the three coverings mentioned in Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, Prabhu. Like
The forest fire analogy.
Hmm? Hmm. No, 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 forest fire, nahi?
Three covers of lust,
Uh-huh.
three kinds of consciousness,
mirror,
yes.
mirror dust and
Yes.
mirror dust and
And
smoke,
womb.
fire, and then
And
the embryo.
Okay.
embryo, something like that. Embryo is a tamu, totally captured, right? That you could say that way. See.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Now I understand. I think that's all, Prabhu, I could remember. It was
No, very nice. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's pretty much. So Krishna has
We,
given a
s-
general characters. Yes. Wait, Cindy? Yeah.
I was just saying we spoke a little bit about
Mm.
how all three gunas are in constant battle with each other,
Mm.
trying to
Yeah.
overtake. And there is no perfect one guna for every person. It is always a ratio of three different things.
Yes.
And it is the purpose of these gunas is to acknowledge and understand ourselves rather than to judge others.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
to know what you lack and to seek what you need.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we have to take guts to acknowledge our shortcomings and try to request help openly.
Yes. Wonderful. Very nice. So, yeah, that's very important point. Yeah, thank you for yeah, it's not for judging others, it's for us. Perfect point. Thank you so much. I missed that. Perfect. Yeah.
We
Okay.
keep talking about every
Mhm.
now and then we keep talking about how we need a mentor, the quality of a mentor.
Mhm.
Satovare, Snigdha, and Sajatiya. We should be
Mhm.
like-minded, compassionate, and senior.
Mhm.
We should seek help from those people who share the same goals as you,
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah. Yeah. At least, even if same group, at least they should be affectionate. At least they should have some interest, some affection towards you. So
Yeah,
you could say Sujatiya or like-minded would be to at least to progress, and when you go will start aiming for higher. At least if in the initial phase, let's for example, right? In that, the main thing would be Snigdha and Satovare. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
yeah.
उसके आगे आगे फिर okay, then you can more more focused, but at least someone should be very very endearing. Someone should be affectionate towards you to हाँ बोलो क्या हो गया बताओ, right? Yeah, I think that's a good decision to make. Yeah, thanks so much. Very nice point. Totally missed that. Perfect. If you can, if you want to write, you can write it there now. Making notes with mentioned points. Perfect. Thank you, Vivek, sharing.
Prabhu, what is Sanchit Karma?
Sanchit karma is basically equal to is same term for aprarabdha karma, which is there. Basically, you take karma, kriyaman karma, you incur karma, right? When you're living,
Yeah,
you do
cumulative.
sanchit
Yeah.
karma, you sanchit karma, you put back aprarabdha. Does it make sense?
Oh,
It's two,
okay.
it's a synonym, sanchit and aprarabdha.
First is Prarabdha, then Kriya.
Aprarabdha, then
Aprarabdha, Kriyamana, and Sanchita.
नहीं प्रारब्ध और संचित कुछ synonyms, okay?
Yeah,
And then from prarabdha you take little bit, that means prarabdha for this life, and while living in this life you incur kriyaman while doing kriya, while
yeah.
activities. Yeah,
Thank you for that, sir.
yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. Wonderful, Vriksha. Thank you. Okay, so we did Krishna gave described general characteristics of sattva, rajas, and tamas. Okay, and these three modes are predominated by three deities: Shri Vishnu, Shri Brahma, and Shri Shiva. They predominated the controllers of these three modes. Okay, take in charge of affairs of these three modes. Yeah, is something?
Got it.
Okay. So now in text number 9, Krishna is going to summarize these three verses which talked about 6, 7, 8. Right? Krishna is going to summarize all this in one verse. The qualities mentioned. Okay. Who would like to read the ninth verse?
Read, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you.
Tvam Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati Raja Karmani Bharata Jnanamavritya tu Tamah Pramade Sanyayachyuta. Sattvam, the mode of goodness. Sukhe, in happiness. Sanjayati, binds. Raja, the mode of passion. Karmani, in fruitive activity. Bharata, O son of Bharata. Jnanam, knowledge. Avartya, avritya, covering. Tu, but. Tamaha, the mode of ignorance. Pramade, in madness. Sanjayati, binds. Uta, it is said. O son of Bharata, the mode of goodness conditions one to happiness. Passion conditions one to fruitive action, and ignorance, covering one's knowledge, binds one to madness. A person in the mode of goodness is satisfied by his work on intellectual pursuit. A person in the mode of goodness is satisfied by his work or intellectual pursuit, just as a philosopher, scientist, or educator may be engaged in a particular field of knowledge and may be satisfied in that way. A man in the mode of passion may be engaged in fruitive activity. He owns as much as he can and spends for good causes. Sometimes he tries to open hospitals, give to charity institutions, etc. These are signs of one in the mode of passion. And the one in mode of ignorance covers knowledge. In the mode of ignorance, whatever one does is good neither for him nor for anyone.
Okay, thank you so much, Vivek. So yes, so as you can see, Krishna summarizes all these three in one verse. Now, the verse, let's take the verse, okay? So it says, Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati. So what is the effect of being in the mode of goodness? Happiness. Okay? Then, what is the effect of being in the mode of, what is the effect of being in the mode of passion? Actions, we could say. So action is, when I say action, it means attachment. So being Sattva Guna, we become attached to the happiness performed by actions in Sattva Guna. Okay? Rajogun, in Rajoguna, the person becomes attached to the actions themselves. Okay? And in Tamoguna, Jiva becomes prone to carelessness or error, Pramad. Does it make sense? Mr. Verse. So, Pramad can mean madness, Pramad can mean error or mistake, continuous mistakes. Okay? So, Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati. Sanjayati means, we could say, binds or, effect. Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati. Raja Karmani Bharata. Jnanam Avrititvam. Tama means Jnanam Avriti, it covers knowledge. Avriti means covering. So in Tamagun, the ignorance is covered. Knowledge is covered. If only ignorance. Pramade Sanjati Uta. Pramad. So the living entity is Sattvagun, predominantly Sattvagun. They become attached to the happiness obtained by doing actions of Sattvagun, and the person predominated by Rajogun become attached to the actions themselves. And Tamogun, Jiva is bounded by inattentive to the works and produces ignorance by a covering of knowledge. In these three cases, what happens? The living entity more Sattvagun is so self-satisfied कुछ नहीं चाहिए बस हाँ मेरी happy, that does not even follow dictates of Super Soul. Super Soul is saying something, Paramatma is saying something, but it's too self-satisfied to listen to anything to Paramatma. In mode of passion, what happens? Is speaking too loudly so that because of that can't hear the dictates of the Paramatma. Mode of ignorance में क्या है? It's too inert, too ignorant, too अरे छोड़ो यार, mad to hear the dictates of Paramatma. The three in all the three modes in different and it's a different capsules engagement. Jiva is bounded in different packages and pursue their own pleasures in whatever way whatever mode they are in, and they're not able to hear the sound of the Paramatma. Does it make sense? This
Prabhu, when you say Sattva Guna, there's a condition to happiness.
Mm-hmm.
You mean this is material happiness, obviously, right?
Yeah,
Which is
obviously.
temporary.
Yes.
Because we are all yearning towards permanent happiness, but this happiness is very temporary.
Yes. So in verse number 6, right? It says those situated in the mode become conditioned by sense of happiness and knowledge. Then there बोलते हैं ना जैसे they have not so much knowledge. They have knowledge, and just by having knowledge itself, and that attachment to knowledge and happiness itself becomes born, and they just building pride and stuff. That makes sense. Going down. So that again, as I mentioned, is material happiness. Nothing spiritual about these three modes. Right? So happiness, what the effect they get is all material.
Aren't all the three modes characterized by an attachment to happiness and material happiness in a material world?
For people
Kind
in
of.
Rajogun, they're more attached to the actions themselves. करना है. And if happiness is a side effect, but more they are form of actions. Too much energy. कर दिखाना है. We could say more of goodness by people, though are more intellectual, you could say. That makes sense. So more intellectual, more thinkers, philosophers. Doing more of goodness. Passion में let's get it done. झंडे गाड़ देंगे, उखाड़ देंगे, that kind of
Yeah.
people. Does that make sense?
Okay, cool.
Too much energy. But they don't do work. They want to get things moving. The movers and shakers, the influences, right? That kind of thing.
What is
They
the
love
difference
enjoy doing
between,
the work. Yeah.
maybe I'll ask this question very bluntly. What is the difference between a drug addict who is super happy versus a scientist who is super happy with a discovery or something?
In a scientist, you would say in drug addict, the person itself is covered. Remember that the symptoms of the mode of ignorance, it doesn't sleep, control. The person becomes covered. To उसको the person is not conscious. पता भी नहीं क्या है. Happiness, this happiness मिल रहा है, but it's fully covered. मतलब they can even feel external senses. क्या चल रहा है? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
They're both happy. Philosophers think पता है हाँ ये चल रहा है हाँ they're conscious about it at least.
Okay, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. A person in goodness I can speak to them at least and कुछ कर सकते हैं. इनसे कुछ बात भी नहीं कर सकते. You can talk to them nothing. Any questions on this? Anything I'll share? Once, twice, twice. Okay. So now in verse number 10. Now let me ask, does one mode become predominant within a person? If so, how? Right? So the three modes, right? Does ऐसे कि the two modes are only one is there or one becomes predominant? If so, how? How does it happen? The next verse, we'll talk about that. Okay, verse number 10. You like to read verse number 10?
I can read, Prabhu.
Thank you.
रजस्तमश्चाभिभूय सत्वं भवति भारत रजः सत्वं तमश्चैव तमः सत्वं रजस्तथा रजः the mode of passion, tamaha the mode of ignorance, cha also, abhibhuya surpassing, sattvam the mode of goodness, bhavati becomes prominent, bharata, O son of Bharata, rajah the mode of passion, sattvam the mode of goodness, tamaha the mode of ignorance, cha also, eva like that, tamaha the mode of ignorance, sattvam, the mode of goodness, rajaha, the mode of passion, tata, thus. Translation purport by His Divine Grace C.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance, O son of Bharata. Sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and at other times, ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. Purport. When the mode of passion is prominent, the modes of goodness and ignorance are defeated. When the mode of goodness is prominent, passion and ignorance are defeated. And when the mode of ignorance is prominent, passion and goodness are defeated. This competition is always going on. Therefore, one who is actually intent on advancing in Krishna consciousness has to transcend these three modes. The prominence of some certain mode of nature is manifested in one's dealings, in his activities, in his eating, etc. All of this will be explained in later chapters. But if one wants, he can develop by practice the mode of goodness and thus defeat the modes of ignorance and passion. One can similarly develop the mode of passion and defeat goodness and ignorance, or one can develop the mode of ignorance and defeat goodness and passion. Although there are these three modes of material nature, if one is determined, he can be blessed by the mode of goodness, and by transcending the mode of goodness, he can be situated in pure goodness, which is called the Vasudeva state, a state in which one can understand the signs of God. By the manifestation of particular activities, it can be understood in what mode of nature one is situated.
Yeah.
Jai. Hare
But yeah,
Krishna.
see,
Thank you very much.
is the verse we're talking about, right? Fighting, like fighting. So, yeah, any thoughts, anything to share? Mm.
So when Prabhupada keeps saying, Prabhu, one can develop, it's primarily by, I understand one's past uh, impressions and also his current association, right?
Yeah, so by impression with past karma or work, what you're doing, association, what we eat,
What we
many
eat.
things.
Yeah,
They're all influenced.
okay. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you, Prabhu.
Anything else you'd like to share, Nilda?
Life keeps changing, right? So you never know what thing might dominate, how you will react to a situation
Yes.
if you are not trained.
Yeah. We need to hold something of a higher status to not be swayed by these waves. That makes sense? Let's say you are in ocean without no support, but whatever way, I mean, in whichever way the waves come, we just toss it around.
पूर्वमानमचलं प्रतिष्ठ.
नहीं नहीं, वो तो आएगा ना, लेकिन मैं से we are right in the ocean बीच में,
Yeah.
but waves ऐसा आ रहा है, we go like this, बस कम लगे we go like this, we go like this, right? But if you just say nice pole, strong pole all the way, in the ocean, from the top, okay, and it's we had a nice strong pole and a rope, and you hold the pole, all the rope is tied to the pole, and wave comes. You can nice, say, something stable to hold on to, so you're not swayed that much. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
This is like this. So we are in this world, and this will come. वो तो होना ही, मतलब you can't expect to not get wet in ocean, in an ocean, right? When you enter the water, you'll get wet. Being in this world, मतलब we're bound to get hit by all these waves of different modes. But if you have a stable shelter, we take off. The effect becomes significantly reduced. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot remember this sheet. Uh, This is very beautiful. Okay. This is Vrinda. So this is nice. Swambhashya Vishwachakri Thakur, Gangaiya Champi, इसको वृंदा देवी अष्टकम. Okay. In that, ये देखो, I'll share the screen. I can remember this example. Bhaktya Vihina, without bhakti, we don't have bhakti, and aparadha lakshya, I have lakhs of aparadhs. And Kshiptascha Kama Adi Taranga Madhye, and I am drowning in the ocean, middle ocean of Kama Adi, all these different anarthas, all the different modes coming up and down, right? And he's, very in a very beautiful way say, Bhaktya Vihina Aparadha Lakshai, Kshiptascha Kama Adi Taranga Madhye, Kripamayi, O more merciful one, Tom Sharanam Papanna, Vrinde Namaste, Charna. The second shelf of Shrimda Devi, that stable source by whose shelter one can attain that stability being in this material world, tossed around with different modes, all different methods. Right? There's no devotion in whom the millions of it that thrown into the waves of lust, rather vices take shelter of you. I brought you to his feet. Right? Sort of this, talk about the waves part. But yeah, hopefully that helps. Anything else you'd like to share?
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you.
I just got reminded of the Vishaya
Mhm.
Vinivartante verse, Niraharasya Dehina.
Okay, in what way?
Yes. No, when you talked about the higher taste, it's not
Mhm.
possible for us to get rid of Niraharasya Dehina, right?
Yeah.
The only way you can uh, yeah. The only way we can get attached to something higher is by there's no way we can forcibly make ourselves lose the taste for material senses, Prabhu.
Mm-mm.
That can have even worse consequences, right?
Yeah. Premature
Renunciation.
huh? Innovative, huh? Naturally. For 50 minutes for 50. So, yes, yeah, but then what happens? Yeah, forceful renunciation, forcefully trying to, what is it's called immature paramahamsas. You should not become like that, right? Yeah, so it should be natural. But then if we don't have the taste, unless you don't have taste, what to do?
I mean, if you don't have taste in what, Prabhu?
But whatever the higher, what they said,
Bhakti.
we don't have taste, what to do?
Isn't it an intrinsic?
It's supposed to, but it's not intrinsic for us, right?
Yeah, because based on how much we're covered in
Exactly.
avidya and
So
how much fallen
that's
we
not
are.
intrinsic.
Yeah.
Right? But then
At least situate oneself in the mode of goodness then. Try.
that's the bare minimum we should do.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Yeah. The other thing which I want to share is um, share. Lakshmi, just want to make sure. Is it okay? It's too fast. Is it? Oh, no, over the head. But please let us know. Let me know. No, it doesn't.
Prabhu, are you asking me something?
Yeah. Is it okay? Is it? Or is it
Yeah, I was about to ask you one question, like
okay?
how one can achieve this Vasudeva state, and is
Mhm.
is that possible for a normal human being to,
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course.
people like us to be in that state?
Yeah, of course.
So how do we
Absolutely.
even overcome these three modes and reach that state of Vasudeva?
Okay. So let me just share. If you go, this was right. Can read this translation, Lakshmi, if you mind?
Seventh verse, right? Like one
And
just
chapter 14th verse. You been reading this?
the divine.
Speaking it already. Oh, not to hear you.
Oh, yeah. I remember this verse. Okay.
Material modes very difficult to overcome, but how can you overcome?
By surrendering to him. Okay.
Madhavai prapadyante. Yeah, exactly. Hmm, it will happen.
Okay.
Okay. I was going to show something else as well. So let's say let's say you took, let's say you're trying to chant, but then you're not attached to chanting, whatever, right? What do you do? Just stable. You're not interested, or you don't like, or you're not very inclined to hold on to the stable aspect, whatever it is. What to do in that case? Right? So this very beautiful verse. Oh, can you see? You can see. Okay. Let me share my screen. Hopefully, you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
It's
Okay.
all green color screen. Oh,
Yeah, this is a dark mode. Whenever it's dark mode. Is it not visible? Should I change to light mode and light? Or
It, can you
This looks
change it,
nice,
Prabhu?
Prabhu.
I know it's, yeah, I don't know if it's slightly dimmed.
why? I can change. Oh, now it's okay?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Now क्या हो गया? हाँ. स्यात्कृष्णामचरितादिहितापविद्या पित्तो प्रतप्तरसनस्य रुचिकानु किन्त्वादराद अनुदिनं खलु सेव जुष्टाद् स्वाद्विक्रमाद् भवति तद्गतमूलहन्त्री. Very beautiful verse. This and next verse also, the eighth verse also is very, 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 very beautiful. This is next level, one more level. At least for those who know not taste, we could say whatever, right? It mentions Syat means Syat is Krishna Nama Charita Adi. Krishna's name, form, do I don't feel like not receiving much, or I don't feel like taking a name. I don't feel like much. Huh? What is it? What is it? Simile, right? Compared to uh, is Sitapi. Sitapi basically means it's a rock candy, very sweet. Okay, but then what about us? We are afflicted. Hmm? We are afflicted by upatapta, by pitta. Pitta means what? Jaundice. Jaundice of ignorance. We don't know what we are ignorant about the sweetness of Bhagwan's name, roop, form, qualities, everything. We're not the ignorance. How ignorant? In what way? Having jaundice. We are afflicted by jaundice. So we have jaundice. If we compare, okay, if we have the jaundice, we have jaundice, and this sweet sugar. Has anyone had jaundice before? I didn't have jaundice. So
I had, Prabhu.
how does sweet taste like?
I don't remember, but everything was
Yeah, but
very bitter. You couldn't eat
bitter,
anything. Yeah.
right? Because you had jaundice at one point.
Thank you, unfortunately.
No, okay, good. I mean, good. What is the effect of being afflicted by jaundice? Any sweet you eat will taste bitter, very, very bitter. So we are like afflicted like jaundice of ignorance, but we are not able to understand the actual sweetness of the name, form, and qualities of Bhagwan Krishna. Does it make sense, Lakshmi? Let's ask. So this part.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, what is the solution for curing jaundice according to Ayurvedic method? Hmm? You don't know? According to Ayurvedic method, what is the cure for jaundice?
Wait, is it expose yourself to the sun?
Mm-mm. No, but for small kids, for sugarcane juice.
No, okay.
How do you think you'll feel when when you drink sugarcane juice when you're jaundice?
Bitter.
Bitter, but that is the medicine. Does it make sense? What talking about? So the medicine itself feels is bitter, but that medicine will help you cure jaundice. And finally, when it's cured, that sugarcane juice will taste like sweet. Amazing. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Makes sense, yes. What about others?
Yeah,
So that
Prabhu.
so the disease is jaundice. We are comparing jaundice to our material
Or ignorance. Ignorance,
covering,
yes.
ignorance.
Yes.
And then to cure ourselves of material ignorance, we have to drink the so-called bitter medicine, which is actually sweet.
Yes. What is that? Krishna Nama Charita Adi.
Okay.
That scene better किसको for when his church started, how many of like मजा आ रहा है यार, कृष्ण का names are so sweet. मजा कौन बोला इसको, कोई बोला? But since I'm not, I felt like, क्या कर रहा हूँ भैया? What am I doing? Just chanting the same name again and again, again, again. Not मैं क्या कर रहा, पागल है क्या? Actually do it, but I'm saying, right? It sounds, but we're not able to find the sweetness, right? So the medicine is to take. So how to take now? So that is the medicine. Sweetness, eating sugarcane juice is the medicine to cure jaundice, right? But then how to take? किंतु आदराद अनुदिनम खलु सैव जुष्टा. Adarad, with respect, every day. Indeed, naturally, seva jushta means basically you will start, when taken, jushta, swad. When you take Bhagwan's name, hear Bhagwan's roop, form, qualities, everything, anudinam, with adar, with respect. This way, not try to do offenses. Meditate Bhagwan's name every day. Medicine, do you take medicine? Or doubt says, okay, do you take medicine 3 times a day for 1 week? Like, why, doctor? I'll just take 4 times 7, 20 tablets. Ekta khale ka done. I'm done. Entire week, I'm done. Does it happen like that? Can do the entire course at once and say I'm done? Hmm? Mhm.
No.
No, right? So, Anudinam, Adarat, Anudinam, daily regulation. You take that. And that is a medicine we will take and find what happened. Swadi Kramad. Naturally, at one point, because Swad will start increase, start taking, the sweetness will feel. Tad Gada Mula Hantri. Hantri means Hantaya, Hanta, destroy. The what is the root? Avidya will get destroyed. And that root will get destroyed, all the entire disease will go away. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhu.
Right? Perfect. Big serious. Lakshmi, Anita, Ramya, did I hear?
She's saying Haribol.
Highball. Okay. Marble, Lakshmi and Ramya.
Okay, Prabhu. I
Okay.
came late, so I missed out quite a bit.
No. So we're talking about verse number 10. Is that verse number 10 talks about how different mode depending on our activities, depending on karma, depending on what we eat, depending on association, what we do. Different modes take up, predominate at different point of the day, different point of lives, whatever. Right?
Right.
Now, in this regard, Lakshmi has a question. So, how do we make sure that we're not influenced by those modes?
Okay.
It's like at one point they're trying to fight over us. After separate natural, they're trying to dance on head and control, right? How to
Right.
take. So then the verse 7.4. Devi Esha Gudamayi Mama Maya Durataya Mam Eva Padyanti. If you take shelter of me alone, we can cross over the ocean of material modes very easily. So
Okay.
if you put in an ocean, right, and you don't have any support, you're just floating.
Mm.
The way the waves come, you just go that way. You're tossed by the waves, right?
Yes. Yes.
But if there's a stable pole, pillar, all the way to the ground, it's like stable in the ocean, middle of the ocean. You have a rope tied and you hold the rope.
Mm.
You have much more stability. You're not
Yes.
sweat that much, right?
Nice.
So that stability, that rope, you could say, is, and so initially is Krishna Nama Charita Adi.
Okay.
And how to take, so we will not have taste for that, right? And क्यों पकड़ना है यार? We will not have taste for that, the
Yeah.
stable thing. But then why is that? Why is that we don't have the taste? And how to develop the taste?
What were you saying about jaundice, Prabhu?
Yeah, so this is comparison. So when Acharyas will explain certain concepts, we put concepts, right?
Mm.
They try to relate to us, give you material examples.
Right.
So Bhagwan's name is compared to sugar candy, rock candy, sweet.
Okay.
And our ignorance of that sweetness is called avidya. It's compared to jaundice. Because when you're affected by jaundice, you find sugar to be extremely bitter. Anything sugar to be extremely bitter.
Yeah.
Being in this more of condition of ignorance, we are but being so many lifetimes, we find Bhagwan's name, form, call everything to be bitter. We don't have taste. Ah, काम कौन लेगा? कौन करेगा?
Right.
So, being in jaundice, being afflicted by jaundice, what is the medicine for jaundice according to Ayurveda? Sugarcane juice.
Okay.
Now, if you have sugarcane juice and you eat in jaundice, if you have jaundice and drink sugarcane juice, what do you expect to feel? Sweet or bitter?
It will be still bitter, right?
Extremely bitter. Then what is the solution for what is the remedy according to Ayurveda? Sugarcane juice. So that
Okay.
sugarcane juice is a remedy to cure jaundice. It may start, it may feel very bitter at the start, but when you drink, what will happen? This jaundice will go, and finally that sugarcane juice will taste
Sweet.
sweet. So the remedy, the medicine for our being a condition is Bhagwan's hearing Bhagwan's name, taking Bhagwan's name, hearing Bhagwan's form, calling roop, for qualities, all this stuff. It may seem bitter at the start. The more we take in, the more our jaundice-like conditions will start going away, and we'll find taste in the same thing which you felt bitter initially.
Okay.
And how to do it?
Just
Adarad, with respect,
with respect.
anudinam, every day. Not that aaj kiya, I chanted 32 rounds and then stand the next round after 1 week. No, every day. As I mentioned, medicine you take a course, regular, right?
Yes.
Every day you take. And once what happened at one point of time, Swadu will find starting in taste. And
Okay.
that act its of medicine itself will Hantri will destroy the moola, the root, ignorance, basically.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
No. Okay. Now one more point, Olishi. So what is it? What so if you I want to show you example of a verse. How does a person who have that taste actually feel, or at least what is in their heart? Do you want to know? How do they feel when they hear Krishna's name or when taking Krishna's name? What do they feel like? Those are not affected by jaundice. They actually got taste of this. Do you want to know what it feels like? Do you want to know what? I mean, do you want to see the verse? Feels like? No?
You're saying people who are on the other end of the spectrum, right,
Yeah,
Prabhu?
yeah. They
Okay,
have found
Jay.
taste. And what is their
Feeling
what is their
in
is their feeling when they are taking Bhagwan's
okay.
name?
Happiness?
Yeah.
Happiness तो दूर की बात, happiness तो बहुत कम है, वो they are different level altogether. Happiness is a byproduct.
Okay.
Okay, so let me show you. Okay.
Roma
Mm,
Sparsha.
no, no. We'll see the verse. You've seen the verse before, I'm sure, but the verse goes to like this. Hey, I can't verse. Oh man. The verse is अरे, Cheta Prang. Okay. What? You to find. ये वाले की वो shit. Nah. What did it go? Krishna. अरे. Oh. Okay, okay, one second, just one second. A second, fire. We Chetan. Chetan Chitamrit. Ah, Tundi Tandiva, finally. Okay, this is what's okay. Very good. तुण्डे ताण्डवनीरतिं वितनुते तुण्डावली लब्धये कर्णक्रोडकदम्बिनी घटयते कर्णर्बुधेभ्यः स्पृहां चेतप्राङ्गणसङ्गिनी विजयते सर्वेन्द्रियाणां कृतिं नो जाने जनिता क्रियादिभिरमृतैः कृष्णेति वर्णद्वयी. This all glorification. So it says Tunde Tandavani Ratim. In Tunde means tongue, dancing on the tongue. Okay? Something is dancing on the tongue. So much so that I wish I have Tundavali Labdhaye. Tundavali means Avali means a rose or a Deepavali, a rose of deep. Right? Tundavali, I wish I have lots of tongue or mouth. Okay? The main point will be at the very end. Okay? Tunde, Tandavani, dance, something's dancing on my tongue, and it's so amazing. I wish I could have millions or lots of mouths. Okay. Karna, Kroda, Kadambini, Ghatayate. Kadambini receiving water spinach. The what to say? The characteristic water spinach is it spreads rapidly. Like water, it just spreads like really fast. Karna,
Oh,
Kroda,
that's why it's called Madhurya Kadambini.
Huh? No, that is Kadambini. This is Kadambini.
Oh, it's a difference. Okay.
Yeah. Kadambini basically means shower.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, bro.
No. To Karna Kroda, Kroda means whole. Karna Kroda Kadambini Ghatayate. This uh, it when I hear those names, there's something. I feel I look at Karna Arbudhe Spira. Arbude means crores. I mean millions of years. I wish I would have millions of years to hear that. Does it make sense? Cheta Prangana Sangini Vijayate. It enters the heart and Sangini and it rains all over. I wish, and it just takes over my entire senses. That something. Okay? No jane janita kriyadyamrite, and I don't know anything that's more nectarian than what? Krishna iti. Krishna. These two syllables, Krishna. I do not know how much nectar the two syllables Krishna have produced. When the holy name of Krishna is chanted, it appears to dance within my mouth. And we then desire many mouths. When the name enters the holes of the ears, we desire millions of ears. When the holy name dances in the courtyard of the heart, Cheta Prangani Sangini Vijayate, right? It conquers the activity of the mind, and therefore all the senses become inert. That makes sense? This is what a small fragment of what they feel when they take them Krishna. When we take Krishna, Krishna. कुछ effect नहीं है. Just imagine this is their relishment, what they feel when they just take the name Krishna. That's it. But is it possible to achieve this? Yes, it is. But आदरात् अनुदिनं खलु सेवजुष्टा स्वाभिक्रमात् भवति तद्गतमूलमन्त्री. I If you don't start, it will never come. Does this make sense?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So this will be these three modes. They start dancing or try to control based on what we eat, what we do, how to associate with. So many factors.
This is from Vidagga Madhavan.
Sorry?
I'm reading, it says it's from Vidagga Madhavan.
Yes. Yeah, this is the one of the Mangalacharan verses for Vijaya Madhava, Shiv Rupa Goswami.
Vidagga Madhav is the name of the text, Prabhuji, right?
Yes,
Prabhu?
yes. It's Natakam. It's a drama written by
Oh.
Shiv Rupa Goswami.
I don't know how many of you were there for the Gaur Purnima class in temple today, temple on Monday, but it was the same Vidagga
Same
Madhav
text.
verse.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I was just telling.
Anarpita Chiram Chirat, that verse.
Mm.
Anarpita Charinchira
Yeah.
Vitirna Kalau Samarpaya.
Yes.
That is the Mangalacharan Chaitanya Chaitamrita. And that
The
was
whole
mentioned
class
in
was on
Vidya
that
Madhav.
verse, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Class was on
So,
that verse, yeah.
yeah, so many of the verses Chaitanya are taken from Vidya Madhav, Lalita Madhav, so many things. Yeah, very nice. This is the verse by Srila Goswami. And when Mahaprabhu heard this, so these verses were spoken to all the associates of Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. They're like, wow, such a beautiful verse. It's amazing. Realize what beautifully Srila Goswami written this. They were astounded by this. This, when you hear this, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antarila, chapter number 1. You can find this. It's there. Okay, coming back to Bhagavad Gita. We'll go different direction. So, they appear and disappear according to the operation or exhaustion of the karmas, and based on association, based on work, everything. Choice of food, what we eat, everything has um, uh, part of the equation. Okay, that makes sense? Now, any questions on this? Anything else? Before we go ahead?
I really like the contrast, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Like
Yeah.
both stages. Jai. Very
Yeah.
good.
We should at least have the channel where we at least the goal should be there. And can we go right? Yeah. Ramesh, you going to say something? Just to make sure.
No, I was just going to say I understood.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay. Now, from text number 11 to 13, I shall explain the effects of the three modes, how the effects of three modes are manifested. Okay. More characteristics will be mentioned by Krishna. When these three modes actually take effect, how do, when they predominate on a person, what do they express, or how are the behavior, everything I shall explain. Okay, in these three verses 11, 12, 13, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Okay, so we can go ahead. Verse number 11. Yes, would you like to read? Small verses.
I'll read,
I
Prabhu.
can. Oh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we have one more, so no problem. Okay, everyone can choose, and the next also someone else can read that.
Ramya, you can read.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाशः उपजायते ज्ञानं यदा तदा विद्याद् विवृधां सत्त्वम् इत्युत. Sarvadvareshu, in all the gates, dehe asmin, in this body, prakasha, the quality of illumination, upajayate, develops, jnanam, knowledge, yada, when, tada, at that time, vidyat, no, vivridham, increased, sattvam, the mode of goodness, iti uta, thus it is said. The manifestation of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. There are 9 gates in the body: 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, the mouth, the genitals, and the anus. When every gate is illuminated by the symptoms of goodness, it should be understood that one has developed the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, one can see things in the right position, one can hear things in the right position, and one can taste things in the right position. One becomes cleansed inside and outside. In every gate, there is development of the symptoms of happiness, and that is the position of goodness.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Riksha. Okay. So now, here says, Sarva Dwareshu Dehesmin, in Deha, Sarva Dwareshu, yeah, in all the gates, Prakasha Upajayate, rises what? Prakash, illumination. Jnanam yada tada vidyat, yada tada, when at that time, yada yada dharmasya, tada, tadatmanam, when at that time. So when jnanam and not happiness, happiness is not here mentioned. Jnanam, when that is increased, vridham, right? Because of illumination, supposed to be mode of goodness. So what does it mean? So when this increase, when knowledge appears in the form of understanding of when you hear through this or sense objects, uh, So what is actually when you hear anything or taste anything, again, certain things. You taste particularly hear nice things. For example, let's say you're hearing with soothing music, for example. When you hear happiness, when you feel happiness to soothing music, not the dan 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 dan, but soothing music in different categories. So when you hear soothing music or eat very nice, palatable, delicious, ghee, what we'll see. When you eat all this, or when you eat, you hear, you speak, when you get knowledge through the ears, so all this, but person does according to certain, this categorization. We'll see later in this chapter, 17th chapter also. This sense of happiness uh, and knowledge which arises in the body. That is where Krishna says, you will understand you are in the mode of goodness. Now, does it make sense? When knowledge and happiness appear, right? It's effect of mode of goodness, right? When knowledge and happiness appear, once you understand this increase in sattva. That makes sense?
Prabhuji, how one can realize that the knowledge of happiness is actually happening?
So when you hear, again, not agitating music. So I'm talking just about music, I'm saying.
Okay.
Anything. When you hear those things, when you hear, let's say you're hearing some verses, for example, that, but for us, we are not that. When you hear verses, we feel like, we say Vishnu Sahasranam, for example.
Mhm.
Right? When you hear what happened, MS Lakshmi, then she decides, right? On the
Mhm.
screen. When that happiness, that knowledge, when you hear something good, proper, in proper context, in proper, actually what it is, think what it is, not in a convoluted way. You feel sense of happiness and you get knowledge also. Does it make sense?
Okay. I get it. Yeah.
Okay. Then mode of so it's, sattvagun. So do those, for example, so that's why uh, previously there was Brahmanas. Brahmanas, they used to do Veda part, but not with intention to develop bhakti or anything. Just Veda part. They just Veda part. They used to eat without onion garlic, no meat, nothing, right? These made us mode of goodness. They have knowledge, receiving knowledge, conducting themselves in the particular way. These two are more successful one. And they used to be happy. Even though they don't have much, they're still happy.
Okay.
Satisfied. Does it make sense?
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Any other questions? Anything? Share.
Prabhu, how to understand like all the other gates, Prabhu? It's very complicated. It's like genitals, anus illuminated by knowledge. How do I even understand that?
So these are basically, you could say, for genitals is dharma virodha bhuteshu kamosi bhartarshabha.
Yeah,
That is
in dharma. Yeah.
in dharma, doing properly. And this is when you eat, right? When you eat if spicy food, what happens? When you pass stool, what happens? You feel burning feeling, right?
So
That's
it
what it
is
means.
basically saying when all bodily functions are in tandem with the mode of
Yes,
goodness or like in
yes,
compatibility with dharma,
yes.
then it is okay. I
Yeah.
understand, Prabhu.
Not too much, not too less. Proper, ekdam, balanced way. Because if you in tamas in rajas, you will see intense endeavor, yeah, uncontrolled desire. That go tend start going to the extremes. It's like middle, perfect, balanced way. That's a good. My next point. So we should at least try to be in this mode, or in this mode. Try to be at least as much as possible. This is like again, especially right? Good jumping board to go up. The very nice platform to receive. When you're in that peace of mind, so I'll show you one verse. Okay. Mm. I share my screen.
Oh, in Bhagavatam, it's the story of Narada Muni instructing Prachina Bhari, right? I'm just reminding, like the, I'm not getting the word, illusionary story. I mean,
Allegory.
alleged, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Where he describes the 9 gates, like how now the
Yes.
city of 9 gates.
City of 9 gates. Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very
Okay.
nice. Thank you. So this is Bhakti Sindhu, Bhakti Kalabhyasini happening. This is, yeah, okay, let me just take a very quick couple of days. Krishna Bhakti Gita. 1 second, okay, let me just put this one. Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and find. Okay, yeah, page, this is where. Okay, 1 second, we go. Okay, okay. किधर गया? Oh yeah, आएगा. This next. So I please bear with me and just with this with very nice words. Let me share. Okay, अभी आएगा कुछ नहीं. Bhagavatam not here. This is Bhagavad आ गया अभी. Not this one also, not this. Not here. Bhagavad not here. किधर गया? Various source. Okay, this one was okay. How do what happens when you don't get into too much extremes? It was the limbo bhakti. व्यवहारे पि अकार्पण्यम अलब्धे वा विनष्टे वा भक्ष्या आच्छादन साधने अविक्लोमतिरस्तु भूत्वा हरिमेव स्मरेत्. What should you remember? What alabdhe va means or even if you don't obtain something, a vinashte if you lost something which you had. Huh? And what happened when they saw food? Bhakshya achhada. Bhakshya means eating. Achhada means clothing. Hmm? So when the means of clothing or means of eating food, when you lose that, when you obtain something, you don't obtain that. In either way, what should one do? Aviklavamati bhutva. One should aviklav means non-changing, it's constant. One should steadily what happens? Hari Evadhyasmarit. We should with one intelligence always remember Krishna. No matter what, even if you get something, if you don't get something, or if you got something and lost something, either case, this is one of the limbo bhakti. Basically, staying happy is a limbo bhakti. Not being miserable is a limbo bhakti. In short, if you shoka avasha, this is the verse. Shoka adi avasha vartita. Vartita means one should not be controlled by shoka adi avasha. Okay? शोक अमर्ष आदि भीर भावेर आक्रांत मानसम अस्यम जिसका मन आक्रांतम इज अटैक्ड इज डिस्टर्ब्ड बाय व्हाट शोक अमर्ष आदि लस्ट एंगर ग्रीड और eating too much चाहिए मेरे को or anything of too much not in proper order. If you do too much of this shoka adi, too much asad and lamentation, everything, when the mind is attacked by all this term, katham, how? Tatra means where? Manasa. Katham, how in the mind, how will in the mind, mukundaka, spurti sambhavana bhavet. How is it possible to remember Krishna? How is it possible to Krishna? How is it possible for Krishna to be in one's heart when one is attacked by all this stuff? This makes sense? So what I mean is, but as Vivek was mentioning the point, right? Everything is tied to how the entire being is being talked about here. That means the 9 gates. Hear proper when not agitated too much, no agitation for lamentation. No, when you are, that's only that way we can remember Krishna. Mukunda can spurat. Spurti means appear. How can Mukunda appear in a heart all attack? Because space ही नहीं है. He doesn't have space to come. The entire space is taken by what? Krodha, Adi, everything is all entire space. Krishna doesn't want to stand like an Indian bus stand, Indian bus or a train. थोड़ा आगे चलो भाई थोड़ा. Fourth seat. No. Krishna won't say like that. Nice space. Does it make sense? Does it connect? I thought it will
Yes,
connect.
Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, like Indian bus analogy is very nice.
Yeah. Krishna doesn't want to throw fourth seat to Indian man. So this was which I want to connect to. But when you hear properly and understand what is what, eat properly, everything, when it comes to particular order, then will happiness and satisfaction will come. Okay? Any questions, anything? Hmm. Okay. Let's go to next verse. Rajogun. Can you read the verse?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please go ahead.
लोभ प्रवृत्तिरारम्भ कर्मणाशम स्पर्हा रजस् रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृते भरतर्षभ.
So when you read the verse, right, the
Mhm.
first line is you could say stop. For example, Lobha Pravriti Arambha, the
Okay.
break, and then Karmanam Ashamha Spriha.
Karmana. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's not one sentence, it's more like a verse. Singing stuff. Okay, thanks so much, Vijay. Okay, you read again? Let's read again, yeah.
लोभ प्रवृत्तिरारम्भ कर्मणाशम स्पर्हा रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृते भरतर्षभ.
Very nice. Yeah.
Lobha, greed. Pravarthi, activity. Arambha, endeavor. Karmanam, inactivities. Asama, uncontrollable. Sparha, desire. Rajasi, the mode of passion. Etani, all these. Jayante, develop. Vivrite, when there is an excess. Bharatarshapha, O chief of the descendants of Bharata. Of chief of the Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, fruitive activities, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desire and hankering develop. Purport. One in the mode of passion is never satisfied with the position he has already acquired. He hankers to increase his position. If he wants to construct a residential house, he tries his best to have a palatial house, as if he would be able to reside in that house eternally. And he develops a great hankering for sense gratification. There is no end of sense gratification. He always wants to remain with his family and in his house and to continue the process of sense gratification. There is no cessation of this. All these symptoms should be understood as characteristics of the mode of passion.
Yeah, thank you so much. You can see most of them are, you can see around us. Yeah, the entire world is pretty much like this. Right? So, Lobha Pravritir Arambha. Lobha means what? Inability to give up one's positions. Becoming goat. मैं मेरा basically नहीं देंगे किसका कुर्सी का है currently my chair no this is mine enable to give one's position. Pravritti basically means a tendency to make efforts to increase one's position. So attachment to position and efforts to increase the position जो है और क्या और भी चाहिए प्रवृत्ति actions. And then it says karmanam arambha. Karmanam arambha basically means to engage in activities such as building one's house. बड़ा बड़ा भाई बड़ा ना बनाया गया मतलब has to build house people basically they want a big house they want to do everything to be a big house, full endeavor, all this stuff. Then ashama, ashama is the inability to um, uh, 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 inability to control the senses from sense objects. Ashama. Okay? It's very difficult to for them to control the sense. Correct, and I can't stop myself. I have to do it. And they can't take back the things. Second chapter, the tortoise stuff. They're not able to take it. They're too much into it. घुस चुके हैं एकदम. Okay? Spriha means longing, desire, sense objects. Bhukti, these are for sense objects. So when you see these characteristics, you should understand that we are. So everyone has a mix of these, huh? I think yes, these are a mix of this. So depending on which of these are prominent, you understand. Achha, this is Rajogun or Sattagun, whatever it is, you will see. Does it make sense?
Mhm.
Be straightforward verse. Now into this verse in Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 2. Vriksha mentions how is it possible to advance spiritually with symptoms like this? In the second chapter, if you go, yeah, sorry. Ah, Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktan, chapter verse number 44. Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Apratachetasam. Vyasayatmika Buddhir Samadho na Vidhyade. To share my screen. Okay. Can you see? Right? Chapter 2, verse number 44. Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktanam. Okay. Taya, when Bhoga and Aishwarya is asakta, when you are attached to Bhoga and Aishwarya, they what? Aparta. Aparta means kidnap. They kidnap the mind. And because of which what? Fixed determination does not take vyavasayatmika buddhi na vidhyate, samadhoni vidhyate. They're not able to have a determined, resolute determination for performing spiritual activity, bhakti, bhoga aishwarya. The people in mode of passion, it's very difficult. It's difficult for them to, because they're too much engrossed into this. Does this make sense? Bhakti, bhakti. Mukti Sprihat Tyavat. I'll show one more verse. विशाल जी कहाँ पे है यार? हाँ 1 to 22. ओके ओके. Oh, it's here. I show one more verse, okay? Mm, sorry. हाँ, मैं देखो. भुक्ति मुक्ति स्पृहायावत् पिशाची हृदि वर्तते तावत् भक्ति सुखस्यात्र कथम अभूदयो भवेत्. भुक्ति मुक्ति स्पृहा यावत् पिशाची वर्तते means when arises in the heart hridi, what? The desire for bhukti or mukti. Bhukti, we are talking bhukti in this case for us. Bhukti, sense of, if you see, sense, everything about sense enjoyment. Position मेरा और चाहिए. I can control my senses. I want something more. Desire spriha. The word is spriha also here, right? Bhukti mukti spriha yavat, जिसके hridhi arises in the heart. And what is the desire of bhukti mukti called? Compared to pishachi, a witch. You become haunted. Tavat bhakti sukhasya atra. And when you are haunted by this witch of bhukti and mukti, bhakti sukha. The happiness of bhakti. Katham ambudayo bhavet. How can you experience the happiness of bhakti where when you have desire for bhakti? When you chant, if you're chanting, if you're doing anything bhakti, any activity of bhakti, with a desire, oh, if I do this, oh, I might get a house. People chant, desire, I will get a house. I'll get a job. If I do, माला करेगा ना मिलेगा जॉब मिलेगा करो माला करते हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण. With the desire to have mukti, enjoy, chant, we desire to get mukti, to go back to what spiritual world. वो हम chant करेंगे. This desire is like a pishachi. And when you have that taken over a body or mind, how can you feel happiness of bhakti? You can feel happiness of bhakti. Bhakti gives happiness, a lot of happiness, but we cannot have that. We cannot experience that. Does that make sense? How it is connected to this?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah? Thanks for the- So we should not try to, when you do something, at least whatever anga of bhakti you're doing, there should not be with the desire, मुझे कुछ मिलेगा.
For neophytes, how to even approach that, Prabhu?
वो
Because
नियोफाइट्स
everything
के लिए
for
ठीक
us.
है. For neophytes के लिए, वो all the sins will go away. That makes sense?
Yeah.
पाप सब चले जाएंगे. The words like the words mentioned, Bhagavad Gita mentions, Bhagavad mentions. If you shall, you will take him physical samsara. Apannasam satam ghoram yan nama vivasho granan. तथा साधु विमुच्येता ये दूत. Just by being unconscious chanting in the Hari, Bhagavan, you become pure samsara. मुझे भागवत दिया हुआ है. Yes. So that is the initial. So if you want, at least बोले लो, नाम बोलो, at least बोलो. But we should come slowly to the platform that, oh Bhagavan, I am to take name for what? For your pleasure. Does that make sense? You should come to that stage. If not at that stage, no problem. The goal should be there. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So those are doing understand because and that comes naturally, yeah? When you love someone, you want to please the other person, right? What makes them happy? So when you start developing the affection for Bhagwan, oh Bhagwan, I want Bhagwan to be mine. Bhagwan, I want to be yours. When that affection, that starts developing, then you want to do something for the object of love. Bhagwan, if I taking name, it pleases you, I will chant. Does that make sense? That I'm saying, I'm okay, not saying right away you should do it. It may not happen also, but it's a goal. Okay? That gives more pleasure to Bhagwan, and Bhagwan becomes happy. Of course, Bhagwan makes us happy also. Do you not have desire to become happy? Bhagwan said, I'm happy, how can I not be happy? The happiness will flood. It flood all over us. But that should not be the intention with which you're doing. At least maybe do it for some time. Does that make sense? Initially, if you want to feel, I want to get off this world, I will chant. Okay, ठीक है, चलो. Start with that. And bhakti itself will start purifying your heart. And you understand that itself, okay, इससे भी कुछ और ऊपर है. Okay? Does that make sense? Is it too much?
Understood, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
The stretch goal.
Huh? Sorry?
It's the stretch goal.
A stretch goal. But the goal should be there.
Yeah.
Because we should not put ourselves in the center. That's the point I want to make. We do not keep ourselves in the center. I mean, very interesting. I will stop with that. Our Shastras, right? They're all written in a passive voice, mostly. Active voice. The boy is reading a book. Okay? Is active voice, right?
Yeah.
The boy is reading a book. What is passive voice?
The book is being read by a boy.
So in active voice there's a sense of doership. The boy, I am reading a book. I. Thinking.
Yes.
When you use a passive voice, the book is being read by who's most more prominent?
The book.
The book. So Shastra is written in a passive voice most of the time. Just studied by such person. हाँ कोई तो है. Bhagavatam was studied by Bhagavatam is prominent. So most Shastras like that, written like that. So we don't want also to be prominent. Object of love to be prominent. Bhagavatam, right? The end of Bhakti was taught by Rupa Goswami. Bhakti. First, Rupa is more problem, but Rupa will say himself. This book was written by कोई तो है someone. But this book talks about Bhagwan. Does it make sense? So that aspect, we should slowly try to move ourselves away from center and Krishna center. Slowly करना चाहिए. Okay. Any last minute questions? Anything? Before we quit? Once, twice, and twice. Okay. So we did verse number in here 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 verses we did. We come to verse number 13. 13 talks about the same qualities of mode of ignorance. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. वाचाकृतकृष्ण कृपा सिंधु
So
भेर्च
much,
परिताना
Prabhu.
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
Vaishnavebhyo
भगवते
namo
वैष्णव
namaha.
की जय गीता की जय शिव की जय प्लीज कंटिन्यू doing whatever rank of bhakti chanting whatever please continue to properly adarad anudinam keep it consistent that's most important consistency keep doing that whatever you're doing and you have such nice wonderful association in Portland please get together become discuss read something develop that bond between devotees and it will have a lot of effect see if we can do it